Hey guys, Captain Dylan Hubbard here at Hubbard's Marina. Welcome to the Sunday night live stream show. Hopefully everybody's ready for a good time and a great show. Thanks for tuning in and hanging out and being a part of our Hubbard's Marina family. Want to make sure we give a shout out to our friends over at Gator Jim's Tackle. Remember, this show is brought to you by our friends at Gator Jim's Tackle, 3301 Pinellas Point Drive South in St. Pete. If you haven't stopped by to see our friends at Gator Jim's, you are missing out. Great tackle shop, stuffed to the gills with deals. It's an incredible place. Great people, so much to do and see, so stop by and see our friends at Gator Jim's Tackle, 3301 Pinellas Point Drive South in St. Pete. It is truly an awe-inspiring visit, so check them out. Also want to make sure we always start out our show by giving a shout out to our supporters out there and all our friends who are watching the show from our supporters group. Also, of course, want to tell you a little bit about how this show works. You guys want a chance to win $1,500 in free trips. We're going to give away a 5-hour half day for two, a 10-hour all day for two, and a 39-hour fishing trip for one lucky winner. $1,500 in free trips. That's right. And in order for you to have a chance to win those free trips, all you have to do is go to YouTube, find the Hubbard's Marina channel, comment on the live YouTube video one time for a chance to be entered to win. So you got to comment once on the live YouTube stream to have a chance to win. But also, don't forget to give it a thumbs up for us. We appreciate it. Make sure to give us a thumbs up and a comment. And if you're watching on Facebook, like, comment, share. We appreciate it. If you're watching on TikTok, Instagram, always appreciate the likes and comments there too. Just helps to spread the word when you interact with the live videos. So help us out there, guys and gals. We appreciate it. And then also want to make sure we give a shout out to all of those who are sending stars on Facebook and super chats on YouTube. Let's see here. We had a few so far. We had SBJ is the way with a big 20. Appreciate you on YouTube there. Larry White with a big 10. Thank you guys so much with the super chats and gifts on YouTube. And on Facebook, I don't think we've had anything quite yet. Oh, Barry Long with a big 500 stars. Appreciate you, buddy. As always, thanks for being a part of our Hubbard's Marina family. And again, big shout out to our supporters and our supporters group out there as well. Now, let's get cooking on how the show works. So, as always, we like to start out with the photos and show you what we've been catching inshore. Then we work our way a little bit deeper, nearshore and offshore, show you what we've been catching a little deeper. Then we get into the weather, show you what's going on now, what's coming up, and then we get into your questions. Remember, if you have a question you want answered live during the show, you do have to text it to the phone number at the bottom of the screen. Your comments, they move really quickly on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, so we don't get to see every comment. So if you want a chance to get your question answered live during the show, you do have to text it to the phone number at the bottom of the screen, 727-393-1947. Let's see, Brian Kangas, appreciate you becoming a supporter on YouTube. All right, let's get into the photos and show you photos of what we've been catching inshore. Then we'll work our way nearshore and offshore. But first, inshore lately, the redfish bite has been prolific around the area, from the inshore, upper bay, back bay waters, all the way to the passes. And even along the beaches, we're seeing these redfish moving around in big concentrations and good numbers. Snook action has definitely retreated into the upper bay and back bay waters, seeing a lot of those snook in the back bay and upper bay waters, retreating to the creeks, river mouths, bayous, staying up in that dark bay mud is where they're hiding out for the winter and trying to stay a little bit warmer. A lot of trout action, trout hanging out in those shallower areas trying to stay warm too, but they like the cold weather and they get a little bit more active for sure this time of year, hanging on those deeper edges at low tide and then hanging out on the flats at higher tides. Seeing some good trout around the dock lights and bridge lights at night as well. Triple tail actions picking up as water temperatures cool down and those crab traps fill up our nearshore waters and inshore waters. Those triple tails start hanging out on those buoys heavily. Stephen Batchelor, appreciate those 250 stars. Chris Pernack, appreciate that super chat on YouTube. All right, let's get into the nearshore photos, show you what's going on nearshore. Now you know the hogfish's bite is going well when Lance is catching them. Christina normally catches them all, but Lance got one, so you know the hogfish bite's good. And Smokey's fired up about it. Some good hogfish in action. It was definitely a good week. We saw some good numbers on our 10-hour all day, a few of them on our 5-hour half day. There's Christina showing Lance how to get the big hogfish. Some beautiful ones today on the 5-hour afternoon half day. I was out there fishing with my son, and we got a hogfish or two on the boat. Nothing keeper, unfortunately, but some nice hogfish. Big shout out to Taryn, got himself one. Wasn't catching many fish, but he got the quality for sure. Some nice hogfish action though this past week. Definitely the 10-hour gives you the best chance to kind of dial in on those hogfish, the private charters as well. But you have a shot for them on the 5-hour half day as well. If you're bringing the shrimp and hunting after them, you just got to be patient and sort through some of those gray snapper and porgies before you get the hogfish fired up. But here's some private charter hogfish in action. Definitely been seeing quite a few on those private fishing charters. It's always a good time to get out there with the family. And then our friends, of course, sending us some photos from their own private boat. And look at those hogfish. Real good action out there. Big shout out to Christine and Pete coming out on a private charter this week. Red grouper action too. Seeing a few of those on the 10-hour all day. Not a ton, but a few here and there. There's our buddy Capt. Bobby Woodard, who occasionally interacts with the show, but is on our radio show quite a bit. He is a tarpon fisherman inshore, and he ventured offshore. Was a little lost, but ended up catching some nice fish and saw those 6-7 pound mangrove snapper and was very impressed. Being an inshore guy, was very taken aback by the size of those offshore mangroves. And his better half showed him how to do it, of course. Some nice 10-hour fish right there. That is a beautiful catch by Taryn's brother there. A nice catch and release gag grouper from the long range trip. Some more private fishing charter hog fishing action. Always good to see the hogs coming up nicely for us on those private fishing charters near shore. There's Captain Bobby and his offshore mangrove snapper. Cool to see. Beautiful sunset mutton. Can't beat that. Beautiful photo from one of our guests on a 39-hour trip. The mutton snapper bite has been something to write home about lately, man. It's been crazy. We're seeing those mutton snappers so heavily offshore in that deep water. The 39-hour trip, one of them had 23 mutton snapper. Then we had almost a dozen on the next trip. It's just been an incredible mutton snapper bite. Also, wahoo. What's crazy is the 39-hour trip that got back this morning, they had like a couple 70, 80 pound wahoo circling the boat at one point. They hooked 2 different wahoo. Unfortunately, had one all the way to the back of the boat. You'd like this story, Josh. Taryn, out there fishing for fun, trolling, hooks a wahoo, but it was kind of foul hooked. Yeah. And as it got closer to the boat, unfortunately, it got its head under the water and dug and was able to rip the hooks out. And, I mean, they were reaching out with the gaff to gaff this wahoo, and it came unhooked. So it was pretty brutal.
I'm surprised he didn't dive in with the gaff.
Well, there's a video, and he only cried for like a minute or two. I'm just kidding. But it was definitely sad to see. But blackfin tuna, they've been super prolific out there. They've been catching a lot of those blackfin tuna, just dropping down to the bottom. As you can see here, the mutton snapper have been insane. Really cool to see that, and always a pleasure to have some nice color to the box. Look at Bobby and his big old red snapper caught and release there. Cool stuff. So hopefully you guys get a chance to join us sometime soon, because as you can see, the fishing is going well. There's a lot to do and see and enjoy out there on the water right now. And there's a lot of fish you can catch and keep with the offshore species, the muttons, the yellowtails, the mangroves, the vermilions, the porgies, the almacos, the red grouper, the scamp grouper, the triggerfish, the blackfin tuna, the wahoo. They even had a big mahi around the boat on this last 39-hour trip too, which is pretty cool to see. So lots of opportunities for sure. You never know. All right, let's get right into the weather. With that, we've talked about what we've been catching. Now it's time to get into the weather. We're going to pop over to the Hubbard's Marina website page here in just a second and show you guys what's going on weather-wise. I can tell you with confidence the time to go fishing is now. Early part of this week is the best time. HubbardsMarina.com. We're going to click fishing trips. Second one down is weather links. We're going to start in our 5 and 10 hour forecast area, the Nearshore report, and you can very quickly tell weather is going to get a little nautical there Thanksgiving and kind of stay pretty breezy through the weekend, unfortunately. We do have a little bit of a disturbance Tuesday, but not much. It's not going to be enough to really bring the seas up, but it's going to be a little breezy there Tuesday morning. But most of the day, Tuesday looks nice, still plenty nice to get out there on the 10-hour trip. Wednesday looks gorgeous again, and then boom, Thursday, big cold front swings through our area and really brings some heat with the wind. It's going to bring cold because it's a cold front, but it's going to bring a lot of wind in seas, unfortunately. So Thursday and Friday don't look so good. Calms down a little bit Friday afternoon, and then the weekend, it settles in with a massive high pressure, 20 to 30 mile an hour. So going to be puffing out of the east all weekend and into the start of the work week, unfortunately. So definitely your best chance to go fishing is up here Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So if you want to get out there and do some fishing with the family for Thanksgiving week, your really only opportunity is the beginning of this week. So hopefully you can capitalize and get out there. Today was absolutely gorgeous. Like I said, I was out there with my 6-year-old son, and we had a great time on the 5-hour half day. Captain Joe and his son, Captain Seabass and his wife and their daughters. It was a great time. Some friends. So a bunch of the Hubbard's family and the next generation went out on the 5-hour half day today. It was a good time. So beautiful weather, and it's going to be beautiful again tomorrow, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And then remember, we're closed for Thanksgiving. Keep that in mind. So just a reminder there. So we talked about what we've been seeing. We talked about the weather. Events we have coming up. We don't have, remember, no OCC event in November or December, because remember, we were told 4th Tuesday of every month is the OCC event, and the 4th Tuesday in November falls right before Thanksgiving. The 4th Tuesday in December falls right there next to Christmas. So we're taking November and December off. We will resume 4th Tuesday of every month at OCC Roadhouse, 7 to 9 p.m. starting in January. So no OCC Roadhouse in November and December, but going to kick those back off in January. We do have some big events coming up in Johns Pass. We do have Village Fridays coming up. Village Fridays, Final Friday used to be a cool thing that we did in Johns Pass Village every month. Unfortunately, the hurricanes kind of put a damper on that. They are trying to kick back off Village Fridays. Unfortunately, it was a little bit of a tougher, I don't know. It was a little strange how Village Fridays came about. There wasn't a lot of communication, so the attendance has been a little low. We do have Village Friday coming up this December 5th, and it's 6 to 9 p.m. It is like, I think it's an 80s ski lodge pub crawl. So pretty interesting if you want to come to the pub crawl. That is December 5th, Friday night, December 5th. Now, December 6th is a huge day inside Johns Pass. You want to know why? Because there's multiple things going on. December 6th is a Saturday. In the morning, from 10 a.m. to noon, is the Flamingo Float. I think it's flamingofloat.org. Yep, it is. So flamingofloat.org is the charity organization. They are coming to Johns Pass 10 a.m. to noon on Saturday, December 6th. They're kicking off this special day. It's benefiting the Children's Dream Fund. You could win a 2026 Jeep Wrangler. They're also going to give away a ton of other prizes. So you can order yourself some flamingos and get a chance to win some really crazy prizes. So look at that. What was that? Scroll down. So one flamingo is $5, and you've got a chance to win a Jeep Wrangler. So pretty cheap lottery ticket there. I know I'm going to get in there and get some flamingos. But that's 10 a.m. to noon right there in Johns Pass at Johns Pass Park. They're going to drop all these flamingos in the water from a crane, and they're going to race. And the first flamingo across the finish line is going to get a Jeep Wrangler. It's pretty cool. So definitely exciting stuff. And then later that day, so that event, the Flamingo Float event, is 10 a.m. to noon. At noon, they kick off the Jingle Bell Seawall Tournament. This is put on by Angler Armory, and that is right there at the Bell Tower of Johns Pass. It's a kids fishing seawall tournament. The kids will be fishing Hubbard's Marina's main dock, Hubbard's Marina seafood market at Don's Dock, and along the beach area. So it's a seawall tournament for kids. That's December 6th from noon to 6 p.m. The awards happen, and then guess what? After that, Santa shows up on a fire truck, and they light the Christmas tree in Johns Pass there. So huge day in Johns Pass. Flamingo Float, kids fishing tournament, then Santa shows up on a fire truck, and they light the Christmas tree. So big day, December 6th in Johns Pass. So that is your events update. With that, I think it's time to roll into the questions, unless I'm missing something. I think that was it. Pretty quick, pretty easy. I do want to make some announcements, reminders before we get into questions. Red Snapper 2026. Red Snapper season has started June 1st every year for like a lot of years. I don't know how many. A long time. Since like 2009, maybe. So Red Snapper's always been June 1st. It will not. In 2026, Red Snapper opens the Friday before Memorial Day, which is Friday, May 22nd. So remember, Red Snapper next year, this coming year coming up, opens Friday, May 22nd for us, and it should stay open for us, federally permitted for-hire vessels, until probably mid to late September. So keep that in mind. Red Snapper season opens up May 22nd and should stay open until around the end of September. And that is going to be bookable. All our Red Snapper 39 and 44-hour and 12-hour extreme trips are going to be bookable starting December 1st at 11 a.m. Don't call now. Don't call tomorrow. Don't call December 1st at 10:30. Call December 1st at 11 a.m. Or better yet, book online, because those trips will book quickly. Every year when the schedule opens up, it only takes a few minutes for those trips to really start to fill up. So keep that in mind. December 1st at 11 a.m. is when those 39 and 44-hour trips open up for bookings for 2026. Remember, Scamp next year is July 1st through the end of the year. There's only a short Scamp grouper season, July 1st through the end of the year. Gag season should be September 1st till around mid-September or later, potentially 3 or 4 months. Unfortunately, because of the government shutdown, we don't have the data yet to show the estimate. So I'll have a much better idea come come January. At the January council meeting, we'll have a much better idea of where our gag grouper season will land for next year. But it will open September 1st, and it should be open 2, 3, maybe 4 weeks next year. So keep that in mind. Amberjack season could potentially open up in September for I don't know how long. Triggerfish, remember, are open up all year except for January, February, June, and July. So triggerfish are open up all year. So those are the seasons. Triggerfish, amberjack, red snapper, and scamp grouper, and gag grouper I mentioned. Red grouper is going to be open all year. Should be. Also, don't forget about our Regulars Club and Supporters Club Christmas party. If you're a part of our Regulars Club or Supporters Club, December 13th, that's a Saturday, from 4 to 7 p.m., we're going to have our party going on at Hubbard's Marina. We're going to have free food, free beer, lots of deals going on in the shop. We're going to be giving away our free supporters swag, and then Regulars Club members are going to get a litany of things: hats, shirts, calendars. So definitely join us for that if you're in our Regulars Club or Supporters Club, December 13th, 4 to 7 p.m. Stone crabs. We've got tons of crabs at Don's Dock, and we've got stone crab specials. We've running a big special on the Big Claws mix. We've got a ton of mediums and larges and floaters, all different sizes, tons of fresh seafood. So stop by Don's Dock Seafood Market today to get your stone crab all stocked up for Thanksgiving for sure. It's going to be a blast. And I think that's all the announcements I had to get done. Hopefully we'll see you for a pirate ship cruise or the Dolphin Quest Island Adventure, Dolphin Adventure educational cruise. It's a lot of fun. So check out the new pirate ship and the new red dolphin boat. Remember, Hubbard's Marina expanded in Johns Pass. So if you want a chance to take a pirate adventure, it's really cool, honestly. I didn't know, because they were competitors and they were next door. I didn't really pay much attention to it. And I didn't really know the intricacies of the pirate ship, but dude, it's like it's a performance they put on. It is really interesting how they dive deep and just really get the kids enthralled. So it's very special. So definitely worth checking out the pirate cruise. They do sword fights, water gun fights. They do have a bar, which is cool, and it has a cannon. So that's probably my favorite part. But good people and a lot of good fun for sure. So check out the pirate ship or the red dolphin boat. If you've been on our big blue boat, the red dolphin boat has a little bit of a different feel. It's more of an education focus, so it's pretty cool. Mohammed Tor, appreciate those 500 stars on Facebook, my friend. We had Don Shuitt with a big super chat over there on YouTube. Appreciate you, my friend. Thank you very much, guys. All right. Now it's time to get into our first giveaway of the night. But before we do, let's give a shout out to our friends over there at Innovative Pools and Spa. Remember, Innovative Pools and Spa brings you 35 years of experience building pools in the Tampa Bay area, and they continue the legacy of their father's company, which was recognized as a top pool builder in the Tampa Bay area for 35 years. Plus, they're continuing to raise the bar in pool construction, design, and features, and they have an unparalleled passion for the industry. So call them today at 727-788-1650 or visit them online at innovativepoolsandspa.net for an estimate and see why Innovative Pools and Spa is the top choice for families in our community. All right. First giveaway of the night brought to you by our friends at Innovative Pools and Spa. Let's go ahead and give away. Let's do our 5-hour half day. We'll do the 5-hour half day to start it off tonight. So 5-hour half day, one lucky winner, 2 guests, brought to you by Innovative Pools and Spa. Lucky winner is Tracy Jones, watching from Southern Illinois. Congratulations, Tracy. You just won a 5-hour half day for 2 guests. Remember, if you're picked as one of the lucky winners, you got 5 minutes or less to text us your full home address to the phone number that just popped up on the screen. 5 minutes or less, shoot us a text with your, not your phone number, your home address. You got to send us your home address within 5 minutes to prove you're watching live. So we'll give you 6 minutes since I misspoke. All right. Let's see here. We'll get into your questions. First question of the night. Any word on the Cross Bay Ferry? The Cross Bay Ferry, as some of you might have heard, Hubbard's Marina was awarded the intent to award from PSTA staff. We won basically an RFP, or a request for proposal, which is how government puts out bids for private business to do business with the government. So definitely excited about that opportunity. Now, the Cross Bay Ferry service, the boat is gone, so they need a boat. So it is a little bit different than it used to be. But essentially what's going to happen is they're going to award the RFP formally and officially December 3rd, hopefully. So hopefully we'll get that finalized award December 3rd, and then it kicks off procurement. The first stage of the RFP is procurement, where they have a grant to go out and buy a boat or boats. And so our job is, as the RFP winner, if it's awarded to us, we will be working with PSTA to procure a vessel or vessels to run that Cross Bay Ferry service route. And essentially, that procurement period could be short, could be long. It takes a while to get a boat, get it ready to operate. And then once it is here, ready to operate, then service will begin. And it will be very similar to how it has historically been, but probably considerably cheaper, and hopefully a more expanded service, because we'll be running 365 from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. And potentially even later on nights that the Lightning has games over there in Channel Side. So pretty exciting for sure. Next question, are there any announcements about Black Friday sales? So unfortunately, we had a little bit of issues with hurricanes, and also one of our staff members had unexpected loss in the family, so it kind of derailed opportunities to properly plan. But I mean, family first, and that's the focus. We're a family-operated business, family-oriented, and our staff is part of the family. So definitely wanted to give plenty of headway and leeway and flexibility there. So essentially, we don't have the big, huge Black Friday push, but what we are going to be doing is a Cyber Monday deal. And the Cyber Monday deals will be announced very shortly via our social media. Josh is saying tomorrow, so stay tuned. We'll have more information on that very soon. But Cyber Monday is what we're going to do, not Black Friday. And then a lot of those deals will continue, or maybe not continue, but they will be kind of revamped for our Supporters Club and Regulars Club Christmas party, because we always have deals going on for our Regulars Club and Supporters Club. Will the 39-hour go out this weekend with the rough weather? I sure hope so. We are monitoring the weather closely, and we will make that call Wednesday afternoon because unfortunately we're going to be closed Thursday, so we can't wait to give that heads up on Thursday, because we're going to be closed. So we'll be making the call on that 39-hour by Wednesday afternoon, but I sure hope we can make it happen. That's the goal, the plan, the hope. Are they dredging west of Johns Pass? Why, yes, they are currently dredging west of Johns Pass Bridge. So not the sand around the docks that we've been trying to get dredged out for the last 30 years, but the channel is needing a dredge really bad, and they're currently on site. They've dredged the North Shoal, where the Johns Pass channel kind of hooks, and now they're in the process. They just moved all the dredge equipment. Now they're in the process of dredging out the actual channel. So it'll be nice to see that project reaching completion. It was a little bit strenuous the last 2 weeks with the dredge blocking the channel, but now the dredge is no longer blocking the channel. The channel is back open, and it's not deeper yet, but it will be deeper very soon, which we are desperately in need of, for sure. Let's see here. When you troll out on the way on the 39-hour with a planer and spoon, should you use wire in front of the spoon? No. Generally, you're trolling planer and spoon for the first 20 to 30 miles, and generally you're using about 60-pound mono between the back of the planer where you need a snap swivel to the front of the spoon where you need a snap swivel, but no wire generally. You're going to catch mackerel, maybe a kingfish, and some bonita. It'll be great bait when you get out there offshore. Then once you're out there during the 39-hour trip moving between spots, that's when we troll the lip diving plugs like the Nomad DTX Minnow, the Mad Max from Nomad, the Rapala X-Rap Magnums, and that's when we find the tuna, the mahi, the wahoo, things like that. We will be on the 10-hour trip in a couple weeks. Wanted to see if it's good to slow pitch jig for hogfish. Yes and no. So the very expert slow pitch jig fisherman can catch quite a few hogfish on slow pitch jigs. Is it super common? No. Do people do it a lot? No. It is kind of the expert course. So slow pitch jig fishing is actually easier in deeper water. It's kind of the opposite of normal fishing. If you start out bait fishing with live bait or dead bait, it's actually easier to learn in shallower water. You start out in a 5-hour half day, you're fishing 30, 40 foot. It's easier to feel the bite, easier to learn how to set the hook, easier to get started in shallower water. Slow pitch jig fishing is kind of the advanced course. Once you got the hang of how to bait fish, then you're already fishing in deep water. That's when you drop down those slow pitch jigs. You really need a slow pitch jigging rod to load and deload that bait and give it the action you need. If you got a slow pitch jigging rod, slow pitch jig, it actually works better about 100 foot, 120 foot or more. So deeper water is really where you want to start slow pitch jig fishing. Once you're more advanced, then there is a thing called micro jigging, which is done in shallower water in 40, 50, 60, up to 100 foot. And micro jigging is a lighter rod, lighter line, and smaller jigs. And it does work really well, and I've seen plenty of hogfish caught that way. But it is not super prolific, and it's definitely not something you want to just try unless you're super advanced. But it does work. Hogfish generally are going to be caught knocker rig fishing, fish finder rig with live shrimp. Sometimes people catch them on those silly chicken rigs. But also a lot of times jigs are used for hogfish, but they're not slow pitch jigs. They're what they call hog balls or jig heads or different hogfish jigs. But all of that is tipped with shrimp. So it's not really even jig fishing because you're putting a bait on there, right? But a lot of times the idea with hogfish is you're getting out away from the boat and then you're kind of hopping that lead back to you. Because a hogfish is a very curious fish. It's a wrasse. It's not a snapper. It's not going to behave like a mangrove snapper. It's actually up above the bottom, cruising 3-4 feet off the bottom, looking for little puffs of sand. And because it's feeding on crustaceans like crab, shrimp, and different things that kind of hide in the sand, so that hogfish is up off the bottom looking for those puffs of sand. So if you cast your jig out, let it hit the bottom, and then bounce it back towards you, what's happening is every time that jig bounces, it's creating a little puff of sand or a little pulse. Some people will fish a knocker rig and they'll put 4 or 5 red beads between the lead and the hook, and that also is got a lot of times they're red, and then it's got that clicking going on. So not only are you given a visual cue with that sand puff, but the clicking is then giving an auditory cue to the fish as well. But hogfish are super curious. So that's the idea, is jig fishing or knocker rig even, casting out away and kind of walking it back towards the boat, creating those puffs of sand and potentially getting yourself a nice hogfish. But you got to catch a lot of white grunts or gray snapper to get out of the way, the porgies, before you get those hogfish. So it can be a little bit frustrating. But hog fishing is best in the cooler months around October through about March, April, when it's cooler, when the water's cooler, when we have these cold fronts, that's when hog fishing is at its best, because those hogfish get concentrated on those near shore structures. Just like you and I, when a storm is coming, what do? We board up our windows, we hit the liquor store, we hit the grocery store, everybody buys all the toilet paper and they hoard it in their house and board up the windows and hunker down. Fish do the same thing. When these low pressure systems are coming, they know bad weather's coming, so they go out there and they hoard, they eat a bunch, fill themselves up, and then they go to the biggest possible structure. So these cold fronts come, and those fish know it. Those hogfish, they concentrate on those nearshore structures, those Swiss cheese areas, those small rock piles, those small to medium ledges, and they concentrate there. The bad weather leaves, water clears up, water calms down. That's when a lot of times those hogfish will start biting really well for us. In those cooler months between the fronts, once the water has calmed down and cleared up, that's when we get the hogfish bite going real well. All right, what else we got? Any updated information on the proposed new regulations for East Coast snapper? So remember, we fish the West Coast, and it's the best coast. So I am more focused in the Gulf. I know enough to be dangerous on the East Coast, but I definitely don't stay as up to date on East Coast regulations. But essentially, the state is making a play for state management, and the state is going to give a much longer red snapper season to the East Coast. So that's what's going to happen. How do we get our pictures posted on your show if we catch some fish? So we do a Fox 13 news segment every Friday morning, and we need your photos, inshore, nearshore, offshore photos, even if it's not on our boat, because Fox 13 likes a lot of photos. So if you want to submit your photos to us, every week around Thursday, I try to collect up all the photos, and then we use them on the Fox 13 segment Friday morning. Then we use those photos on that following Sunday show. So if you want to send us photos, you can text them to the phone number at the bottom of the screen anytime. You can text us photos anytime, but it has to be a locally caught recent fish. Don't send us a fish you caught last year. Don't send us a fish that you caught on the East Coast or in the Pacific. Send us locally caught recent fish, and then we can help you out by promoting your fish and your catch. Let's see what else we got here. Regulars Club is opening up December 1st. So if you are not a Regulars Club member and you want to become one, Regulars Club is opening up December 1st. So you go to hubbardsmarina.com, hit fishing trips, scroll down to more info, and then you'll find the Regulars Club information. Again, it opens up December 1st. What the Regulars Club is listed right here on our website page. We got a video explaining it. We got a lot of information, the price of the clubs, the discounts, the policies, the price of the trips after the discount. Basically, it earns you massive discounts on our trip, up to 50% off trips. But it's a loyalty program, not a discount program. So you have to go fishing quite a bit for it to make financial sense for you to join. So the more often you go fishing, the cheaper it is, essentially, is how the Regulars Club works. And again, that